Periscope, Ty Crandall with Credit Suite here. Today we're talking about crowdfunding. We're going to be talking about decoding this. We're going to look at all the things you need to know, basics, platforms, ins and out of crowdfunding, so this way you know how to get crowdfunding for your business. We're going to be diving in here quickly now. I want to give everybody a heads up. And thanks for the loves already. And thank you in advance for the shares. I really appreciate you guys sharing and liking this. The more engagement we get easy early on, the more people come in the room. So I do want to give you all a heads up. Hello, thanks for coming in. This is one of my 4 last live streams here on Periscope. I will miss you all, but I am moving all the way over to Facebook. So we go live every week on Facebook, Periscope, and we go live every week on YouTube. And we're making a little bit of a shift here. So one of the cool things is we're getting rid of this whiteboard and putting a new blackboard there, which you guys are going to love. But also I want to dedicate more time to these live streams. So I've decided doing one live stream instead of doing the same content over 2 live streams makes the most sense. Don't worry. You can find me on Facebook. So if you go to facebook.com/Credit Suite, make sure that you subscribe to our Facebook channel. We will be going live once a week, and I'll be able to spend more time on those streams because I'm not splitting my time amongst the 2 streams. So I love you all. I've tried Instagram and Periscope and Facebook and all these live streaming channels, and we've decided that we're going to go live every week on YouTube with our PowerPoint type presentations and our live sessions like this with Q&A, so we can do that too. Do you sell stuff? If you guys want to know more about what we sell, go to creditsuite.com. You can check that out. But these streams are not about selling anything. It's just about teaching. So if you want to know more about what we do, go to creditsuite.com. Hey, thank you for coming in. So look, guys, I really appreciate all of you following us on Periscope. This is going to be one of our last 4 sessions if you're just getting here on Periscope. We are not going away. We are continuing live streaming. We're just condensing our 2 Facebook and Periscope into 1 live on Facebook. And honestly, Periscope's not going to be here a long time. I think Twitter's moving more to Twitter Live, and our Facebook streams go live on Twitter as well, which is part of why we're making that decision. So just a heads up. Can you teach 6-year-old? We can teach just about anybody. So here we go. So today we're decoding crowdfunding. We'll teach you guys everything you need to know. Thank you in advance for the loves. Thank you for the shares. That's what keeps these things going, so I appreciate it. Yes, find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Credit Suite. We will go live at the same time every week. We'll just be doing it from Facebook. We're moving our Facebook into this time slot. Okay, so a lot of companies are turning to crowdfunding because it works for a lot of companies, especially if you're a startup. If you're a startup and it's harder to get money, you're going to find that with crowdfunding, it's still a really good solution if you meet some of the basics. So one of the first things you want to know is you got to read the fine print, whatever platform you get into with crowdfunding, because in a lot of cases with crowdfunding, what's going to happen is they're not even going to release the funds to you, for example, unless you meet minimums. These are types of things that you need to know. Do you have to hit your target or get that money refunded to the people that contributed or not? For example, companies like Indiegogo, they have flexible funding, so you don't have to hit their minimum requirement or target to be able to get your actual money released. You need to know this, okay? Usually these guys, these crowdfunding platforms, they get paid by taking a percentage of the actual donation. So you need to read the fine print to know. Indiegogo versus Kickstarter, they take different percentages of the donations that they keep as a fee. You need to know this, so make sure you look at the fine print to make sure that you figure that out, okay? And you also make sure that you need to know that donors can be weary of pitches, so you've got to be careful when you're doing crowdfunding of exactly how you are pitching. So which businesses do the best? Well, the ones that personally connect. That you're doing something that's not on the shelves, that's not a standard widget, something that gets donors fired up, okay? When it comes to crowdfunding, think of it like this. I'll use an example with pencils. If you make pencils, nobody's going to fund a pencil campaign because everybody makes pencils. There's plenty of sources. But if you make a pencil that is a self-erasing pencil or something really unique and different, that is the type of thing that is unique. It's something that doesn't exist. That's the type of thing that gets donors fired up. So crowdfunding isn't just if you're getting out there to invest in real estate, when there's a bunch of other real estate investors. Crowdfunding is when you've designed a software that's unlike anybody's seen that makes real estate investing easier. So it's something unique, it's something different, it's something cool. An example that I like is that one of my favorite crowdfunding campaigns was this thing you put at the top of your stairs and it unfolds to make your stairs into a slide.
That's cool. It's fun. It's unique. It's different. And that kind of stuff will help you go viral with crowdfunding campaigns and attract a lot of donors and also attract a lot of money. Now, Boxtruck, are there any business cards I can get with a 620 personal and 80 Paydex? There's a lot of business cards you can get, but it depends on how many trade lines you have. If you're not using a PG, Wells Fargo might help you on a secured credit card with a
talk about business credit, as you know, it really comes down to the amount of trade lines you have. The credit score doesn't really matter as much. So decisions. Okay, you need to decide how much you're looking for. You need to decide how long you're going to let the actual campaign go. Boxtruck, we've talked before. The question is, do you have the $10,000 high limit? And if you don't, it's because you may have the 20 trades, but you're not really using the trades to buy things. That's the key to progress to those cash credit cards. You've got to have, okay, so you have a $10,000 limit, then yeah, you can go to Chase and American Express, all have no personal guarantee cards. If you go into our Get Business Credit group on Facebook, you'll find a lot of people that are getting approved for those. PNC Bank, Amex, and Chase all have cards that may work for you yet. Okay, so decisions. How much are you going to ask for? What's the campaign length? What perks per level, okay? And again, you'll find this out when you get into the actual programs, okay? And again, is it going to be regular versus flex? This has to do with, do you have to meet the full requirements? Do you have to meet the minimum? No problem. You have to meet the minimum to be able to get the funding or not. But most importantly, you need to decide how much you're going to try to raise and make sure that you're somewhere in the middle, that you're going to be able to raise more than what you're putting out there. You're going to have to decide the length of time you're going to give that campaign amongst some other decisions. So you got to get these donors fired up, okay? It's all about emotions. The more emotional appeal you can get, the better a crowdfunding platform is going to work. You've got to donate. You've got to create urgency. Look, if you don't donate, this may not even exist. So you've got to make sure that you get them donating now. You've got to create urgency. Let them know the campaign's only going to be around for a little bit. If you don't meet your minimum, then what they want won't even be able to exist. So you've got to come in and create some urgency. Jazzy D, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Scarcity. Again, this is something unique. They can only get it here. Okay, thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing. That's what keeps these things going. I appreciate it. So scarcity. You can only get it here. It's hard to find. It's unique. These are what makes these donors fired up and what makes these campaigns work so well. Something new, something that's cool. As we talked about, these type of things, coolness and scarcity and urgency, these are why people donate to crowdfunding campaigns, because they're things that are unique. If you don't know, do research. Look at the biggest Kickstarter campaigns. Look at the biggest Indiegogo campaigns. Go to these guys' sites and see the campaigns they're promoting. It'll give you an idea of how they're getting donors fired up by creating this urgency and scarcity and something unique and something cool. This combination of things is what makes people want to contribute to these crowdfunding campaigns. So let's get to the basics. What do you need? You're going to need a great pitch video. You're going to need a great video that hones in on these emotions. The more emotional appeal it can get, the better of a story you're telling, the better the crowdfunding campaign is going to be successful. So it really comes down to creating a great video. Why should they donate? Evoke emotions, create the urgency, the scarcity, the coolness, everything with a great pitch video. That's important. Be courteous. There might even be some people that put rude comments out there. Don't buy into that. Always be courteous to the people that are out there that are actually coming in and that are contributing to the campaign. Okay, provide tangible evidence. Don't just make it a pipe dream. Provide some kind of background that you're going to be able to produce or succeed with whatever it is that you're trying to pitch. And don't be greedy and ask for more than you need. Again, when we look at these campaigns, and that what can happen with them is if you don't meet the requirement of what you're actually trying to raise, you may have to give all the money back to the donors. So how do you do this? Well, you don't want to be greedy. You want to make sure that you're only asking for what you need or a little bit more than what you need, maybe 10% more than what you need, okay? If the campaign doesn't work and all the money's refunded, call, email, and thank every donor or message every donor. Be gracious. Because you probably learned a lot. You're probably going to do another campaign, and you want these people to donate again. So make sure that you do that. Again, set reasonable goals. You know, it's got to be attainable, and it doesn't want to be pie in the sky. It wants to be somewhere in the middle.
Now, here's what really makes these things work. There's two things that you probably don't know that makes crowdfunding successful, and every one of the most successful crowdfunding campaigns has done it. First, you've got to get donors that are dependable before you even start the campaign, and then you have to share it on social media. That's what makes these campaigns. Look, a lot of people have all the crowdfunding all wrong. They think they're just going to create a project that it's going to go viral and they're going to raise all this money. It's not how it works. If you look at the biggest, most successful crowdfunding campaigns, there's two things that they all have in common. One, the people lined up donors before they ever even started the campaign. And two, they went and did social sharing is what made the campaign successful. So I'll give you an example. There was a guy that was looking for like $30,000 to create this really unique kind of birdhouse. Well, he already had the donors lined up. So he rolled the thing out for $30,000 and got like $50,000, $60,000 very quickly. What happens is now the crowdfunding sites like Kickstarter, they see that and they start to promote that campaign. They start to make the campaign go viral because they see that a lot of people are participating in the campaign. Social media is the same way. Okay, so the way that social media works is that things go viral or things get shown to more people because there's engagement. If you share, more engagement means Twitter and Facebook show that to more people. The more people they show, the more engagement, the more the post becomes popular, the more it becomes seen, the more virality it has. Crowdfunding campaigns are exactly the same way. What gives it virality is the fact that you put a goal that you know you can hit. You line up donors, so the minute you roll the project out, donors start donating money. Then Kickstarter, Indiegogo, they see this. They know you have something hot. Then when they see you've exceeded your goal, they start promoting it. News media sources pick it up. That's what makes it work. The second thing that makes these work is social shares. You can't just start a project on Kickstarter and expect it to go viral. It never will. I promise you it never will. It's only going to go viral if you share it to all your social following and then have them share it. The more shares that you actually have out there, the better off you're actually going to be, okay? So when you come in, the more shares that you have, for example, then what happens is the more virality it has. The more people see it, the more people donate, the more it goes viral. So these two things become very. You must make sure that you get donors that are dependable before you even share the campaign. You must also make sure that you come in to make sure that you're sharing it on social media. That's what makes these campaigns go viral. And my Periscope's doing all kinds of crazy things in case you're typing in a question I'm not responding to. So where do you go? Well, here's two of the best ones to start with. Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Now, Kickstarter is the biggest, most well-known platform. 14 million backers, 130,000 funded projects, so hugely successful. Campaigns for products and services like publishing and film and comic illustration, design. Very wide background of the kind of products they have. Here's why it's important. A lot of these actual platforms might specialize only in one kind of campaign. There's campaigns just for tech. There's campaigns just for comics. There's campaigns just for art. There's platforms for art and comics and all these things. They deal with a bunch of different types. Now, you've got to have a prototype. You can't go to them with strictly an idea or a concept. Markleman, welcome. First day on Periscope. So you can't go to them with a prototype. You need to go to something with them that's a proven concept, okay? It's not for charity, nonprofits. You can't use Kickstarter. And these are the kind of prohibited projects that they have. Live animals, alcohol, weapons, curses, medicines, credit services, contest, raffles, company equity. So these are the type of things that are prohibited, although some of these things are welcome on other platforms. So it comes down to the platform you choose. They charge a 5% fee on all money you collect. If you collect $100,000, they take $5,000. So it's important to know. Okay. And they also take about 3% plus a 20 cents per pledge of every individual pledge as well, and they process payments right through Stripe. Okay, failed campaigns, if you don't meet the minimum that you're shooting for, they refund it. So you need to know that. And pledges can be done less than $10. So Kickstarter is a great place to start because they're the biggest and they make it easy. But the drawback here is that if you don't meet your minimum goal, then they refund all the money to the donors and you never get paid. Indiegogo, okay, 9 million backers, way different than 14 million, but still very reputable. $500 minimum goal is the minimum you can do with them. They also charge a 5% platform seat fee and a 3% like Kickstarter, but a 30 cents fee per pledge, so a little bit higher there, okay? They don't accept PayPal. You can't change fixed to flex. So what's the difference here? Fixed means that all the money gets put back to the donors if you don't reach your minimum. Flexible means that that's not the case. So you can't switch after you start, so you need to choose wisely, and that will also affect your fee based on which one you choose. Okay, and fixed is recommended because, again, if you don't meet the minimum if you don't get the minimum with fixed, which is what you should go as flex, then you have to give the money back, which is why you probably want to go with flex, and at least Indiegogo gives you that choice. Now, there are a lot more platforms out there. There are actually hundreds. You can go to Fundable. They deal with equity campaigns. Okay, you can go to Crowdfunder. They deal with donors and they match up donors and investors. Okay, so definitely different here of what you can actually raise. You can raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, for example, here. So figure out what you're trying to raise money for. Right platform. That's what it comes down to. So, like, for example, if you are a software company, then type in software crowdfunding platforms, because you'll find that there are platforms just for software. So is it better to go to a software-based platform or Kickstarter? Well, do your research. Based on the platform you're comparing, how many donors do they have? How many successful campaigns do they have? Do they have flex or fixed type of goals, which means if you don't meet the minimum, do they keep the money or not? Look for the right platform. So when you're making decisions, how much are you trying to raise? How long is your campaign going to be for? Your campaign length. Okay, the next thing that you want to figure out is which of these platforms do you use? Do you use Indiegogo? Do you use Kickstarter? Do you use these? Well, the question is what are you trying to raise money for? That's going to determine the platform that you're going to use. Perks. Okay, all of them you need to give perks to the donors to get them to actually donate. Okay, so anything you give away virtually, like anything electronic, is easier than a physical deliverable product, and there's a lot of restrictions on physically deliverable products as well. Okay, so keep that in mind when it comes to these different perks you're going to offer, and when these platforms will tell you more about that. So again, be gracious even if the campaign fails, because you're probably going to run another campaign. Remember, guys, this is trial and error. If you do crowdfunding and it doesn't work out, learn from it. And then what you want to do is come in and apply what you learned. So be gracious so you can ask these people to donate to another campaign if it doesn't work out. Spend some money on a video. Remember, if you're going to get donors fired up, one of the basics you want to do is have a great pitched video. So make sure that you have the budget to create a video. It doesn't have to be professional. The more personal it is, the more it tells a story, the better. Okay, but keep that in mind. Fewer perks save you money, but the more perks you give, the more donors you're going to have. So keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that there are laws that affect the perks. In some states, the AG even actually considers it to be a sales purchase if you're actually giving the perk through physical delivery. So what that means is if you're going to give away things for them actually donating, you probably want to consider virtual perks, giving them things virtually online versus actually coming in and giving them physical things. Because if you're giving them physical things, there's all kinds of restrictions. They can be considered sales under the UCC, okay? There's warranties you may have to apply. The AG's even sued Kickstarter campaigns under consumer protection law. So there's a lot of things like that that you need to know. So as we take a summary look here, with crowdfunding, the basic things you need to know is first, how much are you going to try to donate? How long is your campaign going to be? Are you going to do what's called fixed funding or flexible? Fixed means you have to meet the minimum goal to have your money released. Flexible gives you that option. Next choice, which campaign and platform are you going to choose? There are hundreds. Find one that's relative to the product you have. Software is different than art. You probably don't want to do software and art in Indiegogo, for example. There are different ones. So find a reputable one. How many backers do they have there that are participating? How many projects have they funded? These are some metrics you want to look at. Okay, remember to read the fine print. How much are they charging? Is it fixed or flexible funding? As you see here, the fees are different for Kickstarter than Indiegogo. Kickstarter charges 20 cents per pledge extra. Indiegogo charges 30 cents. As we look at these other ones, there's 30 cents. So they're all different. So which platform are you going to use? Once you've done that, then again, come in and donate money, budget on a video. Make a video that evokes emotions, that tells a story. It creates urgency on why people want to donate now. Scarcity, that they can only get this for a certain period of time. Cool factor, something it's unique and different. The novelty factor to it. So those are the most things. And make sure that you always remember, be courteous, because if your campaign fails, you want to come back to these people and get them to donate. And the more courteous you are to those that donate, like thanking every person, the more inclined they are to share. And those are little tips. Also remember, guys, the most important thing is that these things succeed because you line up donors before you ever even start. And then you share on social media. When you have donors and the campaign starts immediately getting donations, Kickstarter sees it as successful and starts to promote it. And the more they promote it, the more donors you get. But you can't just post it and expect to get donors. You should line up donors before you even do it to make it go viral. And you want to share it on social media. The amount of people you're sharing and working with other influencers and collaborators that are coming in and sharing it on social media is going to make it successful as well. So if you want to learn more about crowdfunding, go to youtube.com/credit suite and type in crowdfunding. We have a video where we go a whole hour on this topic, multiple videos teaching you all aspects that you need to know. We look at the most successful campaigns. We look at the most successful platforms. So a lot more information there. Again, remember, we have 3 more streams after today on Periscope. After that, we won't be going live on Periscope anymore. We're going to still be going live weekly, but we'll be doing it on Facebook. So go to facebook.com/credit suite. Find us there, like and subscribe, and you'll get notified whenever we go live. Other links that you may be... Go to creditsuite.com/Periscope. To get your free guide on building business credit. Right here, you can get a free 4-step guide on building business credit, and we'll also send you even more information on loans, credit for your business, whether it be through angel investors, whether it's crowdfunding, whether it's loans, whether it's credit lines, whether it's corporate credit. That's what we talk about. Our business growth hacks, things that help you grow, and most importantly, how to get money to fund your business. So I appreciate you coming in. I'll be back here next Wednesday at 4 o'clock on Periscope. And remember, 3 more sessions on Periscope before we move our only live stream like this Q&A to Facebook. And also don't forget that if you do go to creditsuite.com/Periscope, then, or go to youtube.com/credit suite, then we also go live there once a week as well, every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern here on Periscope. Have a great day. Thanks, everybody.